Fortuna a po śmierci niebieskiej korony.
Okay, now translate. What's that mean?
Wishing you the best of health, Merry Christmas, and health,
And it wasn't
wealth,
I went in there.
and when you pass
And
away,
fortune.
have fortune and blue
And
crown.
when you die,
Wonderful.
you will get the heavenly crown.
Well,
Niebieska korona.
I said blue crown, so that.
Okay, and on to the cooking. Here we go.
Okay, now listen, we're going to try to make this Polish mushroom soup for Christmas Eve. You need Polish mushrooms, obviously. They come dried. When I'm not around, and no one else is around that knows anything about this for the younger folk, your best bet is to go to Polish conclaves like Hamtramck, and you ask for the dried mushrooms. I was there 2 weeks ago. They are now $10 an ounce. That works out to 160 a pound.
Your mother sorted them out, soaked them. Oh dear, I put one in there. No, where are they?
Oh, I put it.
Oh, cha-cha, Elsie.
Okay, wait, no, you stay. John, go get them. Where are they?
But you will only need for your family or no more than 10 to 15 people, 2 or no more than 3 of these.
Yes.
And what you do is you soak them overnight. I like to start soaking them in warm water, and this is what you're going to look like. Wash it out a little bit. Put it in warm water. There's no formula. I would only, what Bonnie soaked would be enough to feed an army. What she soaked, a humongous soup pot.
About how many did I have in there? About 6 or 7?
Plus the extra
Little bitties, small ones.
Stems and
Yeah.
stuff, which are good. Never discard them. These grow in fall. They're real woody, and basically it's in the aroma. Now the portacinis, the Japanese, I've never tried to see if I could get the same consistency, and one day I'm going to. I'll buy a few in the dried and try to see if I can get a soup. After you soak them, I've already added water to this. There is a woodiness. Pass it around, bring it back here. And the rest of these mushrooms I'm going to take and use for Christmas Eve. Then what you do is you put that in a pot, you strain it, either cheesecloth, Bonnie had a real tiny good strainer, stainless steel, and that worked fine. And sometimes you have more sand in it. Strain it through cheesecloth, what do you call?
Hanky. You said a hanky before.
100% cotton handkerchief or stuff. Then what I do, we cheat. Because the original recipe to this is made with the fermentation of this flour bread that is soaked for about 3-4 days, maybe 5, and it's called kwas, K-W-A-S. But we don't do that no more because we ain't got 5 days to horse around with this.
John,
So we
turn off the
cheat.
music, okay?
I'm going to chop the mushrooms up. You soak it in sort of like a pot like this, full. You got 3 mushrooms. Maybe you got 4 cups there. Strain it through, add it here. Then count how many people you're going to have for dinner. And then, so you got the count. You say you got 10 people coming, or 20. Including this, I sort of add 2 to 3 more cups of water. I did this already, and now I forgot how many cups I have, so I ain't going to worry about it. But anyway, you got water. Now, I want you to see how dark
Right, let me see
stock
here.
was already from that mushroom. You do
Okay, I
not
see it.
need a lot of mushrooms. This is where we cheat. Normally,
Just a minute, Bridget. Go ahead.
any beef bouillon will do. I happen to have in the house this morning Coors, and this is the extra large cube. And it says each makes 2 cups. I think I've got 10 cups of water, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, plus what she had in there. So I've got about 12 cups of water here. And then all I like to do this, and I just do this, and it makes it faster for it to boil through. Because you have, and this is nice and soft. That's another thing I like about Coors versus that other stuff in the market, because you could throw it up in a,
Bridget,
the Magi too is good.
they got it
Okay.
in vegetable too.
I know, you can use that, but I like the beef because it enhances the flavor better than the vegetable. Then you boil the hell out of this, let it all melt, add your mushrooms, and then we have to wait until the next step.
Don't you cut up the mushrooms? You already
Yeah,
got it.
no, I'm gonna do that right now. And I'll add it to that. The next step, you have to see it, because I'll have to mix the flour and the sour cream and taste it and hope we guessed right.
Bring the water to the boil,
Bring the what?
water to boil.
Well, I'm gonna do that now.
Are you gonna have the mushrooms in it while you bring it to a boil?
Yeah, right now. See, all you
Okay.
do is cut it up. I hope I can cut on this
I got a cutting board just over by the stove,
I have a.
or right in
board
the
on
sink
floor
there.
Otherwise, no.
now you tell. All right, and then just slice it, real fine.
Good thing Joe wasn't here, he'd be having a heart attack on his new countertop.
You went to work today.
And then we'll just put it on to a boil until, and then you can let it simmer for a while. Oh my God, I forgot the most important thing. My God, that's what I didn't bring.
What
All
you
right, to this. Brought the garlic. I like to put a clove in,
Okay, I have some chopped,
but I got garlic. What I
okay.
need is bay leaf.
oh, okay, I've got that up in the cupboard.
Is it fresh? I mean, is it reasonably fresh?
Yeah, it's recently
Okay.
It's
bought.
dry.
Dried and recently bought.
Okay.
Okay, you want me to
Well, no,
stop?
because after a while, I'm
You
telling
use
you,
fresh bay leaf?
you could.
Okay.
I wouldn't recommend it though, unless you did another straining. Because I like to make sure that the bay leaf is reasonably fresh, because anybody who knows that it can be sitting there for 6 months and it's, see now, I obviously didn't strain it enough. Where's that strainer?
Did you get in the sink there?
Here it is. See, I've got what I would call shiatcha. Oh, I got all that in there.
That's
Yeah.
done, I said this
Just
one.
for the
You know.
See, that should not be in there.
Okay.
That should have gotten cleared out, right? This should be crystal clear. That should be crystal clear. So you can just see, no matter how good the strainer is, a cloth,
That's
Mm.
fine.
It's up there.
or cheesecloth, or a handkerchief.
Paper
Look
towel,
at
where's
this.
Where's your handkerchiefs
Do
gone?
you use paper towels?
I use paper towel.
Okay.
Oh, I never
No,
attempted. I could.
We can
And I
try.
think we're gonna, because I don't like the looks of this. There's too much sediment on the bottom.
Okay, paper towels there.
I'm gonna, whose pot is this for?
Mine. You can use it.
Okay, and we can make exchanges.
Yeah.
You have a colander?
Yeah, this one.
I have it too.
All right.
Yeah. Yeah, I have it too. But I didn't make pumpkin pie this year.
You didn't get them.
You still get to narrate, Mom.
Yeah.
Okay, well, what are they doing? They are now
Still
Straining.
straining.
Still
And we should have really, it pays.
I had those when I didn't see them anymore.
Well, you know, it's good that these things happen so people know what they have to do. If it occurs, if it was perfect,
Yeah, then the,
then
You
the
know-
next time that you did it, you'd say, what am I supposed to do?
Right.
Do you want another paper
No,
towel?
you know what it is too, how silly we are.
Nope,
That's also
I
where
can't
we
see
put
them
the,
with the oak background.
I did what the hell?
Yeah.
Photo? Yeah, that's part of it. So let's go, let it go.
Are you
All right,
sure?
yeah, because now that's bouillon. The other was definitely, like,
Stand.
schmetta.
Stand.
Yeah,
That's
All right,
right, when you
let
soak
me-
them.
right. Now we'll put this back in here because they'll need this particular bowl for, now we'll boil it. We just put it on the boil. That's, oh, you gotta put the mushrooms in.
Did you put the bay leaf in?
Yeah. I cracked it and put it in.
And she's got to,
You always crack bay leaves before you put
I
it in?
do, I do.
Just so that you get
Well, you activate it and
activated that way.
Garlic and everything.
where do you want to start going on the back?
like,
On the front.
We'll move this there,
All right.
that's the bigger table.
And then you put,
Yeah,
The cover?
but then when
do you have a cover?
Yep.
I would recommend
they
one.
talk,
You boil faster. Which is your front?
Right here.
So we're trying vinegar too here.
I was gonna say, I did not check Citadel to see
That's
on
cider.
the old
Don't put it
book.
in.
Not cider?
Not
see.
cider.
No.
So what kind of vinegar? Distilled,
White.
white.
Ah.
I drink that. I just bought them last night.
My dad used to do that, my dad did.
Sure.
Good.
Cleans up, kills all the germs in your stomach.
Oh, we used to make our own.
Yes, my,
And believe me,
I
that'll
got
clean
the-
your stomach.
Yeah, this stuff, this is herbal wine vinegar?
No, you gotta have just plain
White
white
distilled.
vinegar. That's- Well, we don't have vinegar, so
don't
we
worry
don't
about
put.
it. Okay. So.
There might be some like on the bottom in a plastic jug,
I
Mom.
definitely know if
bottom?
Josephine can tell us. But other than that, okay, what else? That was it? Any other questions?
Well, you,
At this point, that's all you can do until it's boiled. You can start doing your pierogi
Okay, now,
or whatever else.
suggestions on the program, how should we go about doing that? Should we just have somebody make up one batch and then talk about how people?
And then the other one, yeah, do
Because
it.
everybody does it a
Discuss
little
how they
bit
do it,
different.
do it a little
Yeah.
different as we go along, and we'll
Yeah.
watch,
Yep.
see, and then we'll
Yep.
try different
Yep.
things. Okay, what do you need to make it? You just need
to make
your,
a dough, we got a board, we can roll it out. How's that?
You wanna talk about the dough or the filling?
what do you start first?
Well,
I'll let you girls do that.
What do you start
Well,
first?
you're gonna make them hand by
let
hand.
Josephine do her way first.
I still can use her
Filling.
dough.
She wants to
Filling gets
No, go
first.
ahead.
You do it in a mixer, I don't, well, do it in a mixer.
All right.
I do it by hand.
Well, we'll do both, so we can see both.
Yeah, I
We'll
do
make a
mine by
batch in the
hand,
mixer,
too.
and we'll make a batch by hand, and we'll see the difference.
Bonnie, do you
Yeah.
have sour cream?
Yeah, I bought a whole bunch of sour cream.
All right, if you didn't, I will go to the store and
You know
get
what I
you.
do?
Lots of sour cream.
I have a bowl, what do you, here,
Yeah.
and I put 2 cups of flour.
there?
I make a belly.
Auntie?
I put 2
Well,
cups, 2 inches.
Mom, we're gonna show her.
Half a cup.
Kathy will show us, so let Auntie do hers.
Me?
Yeah, and you're gonna show them how not to attack the.
attack that dough.
We made it 2 weeks ago, and my mother kept saying, "You have no patience with that dough." I said, "No, you're right." I told her my aggression on this dough. Don't torture it.
Yeah.
You don't want to watch me.
I mean, I did the first time I made homemade noodles all by hand, you know, I was in, I was just. That's what the lady told me, just relax and just work with the dough.
Yeah, weed it nicely like this. How about that dough working with me, you know?
So you're putting 3 cups of flour in?
Yeah,
Okie dokie.
and I got how would you say a quarter? Half a quarter. Butter. No, half a quarter.
Half
Eight.
One half a cup or 1/4.
You want a knife?
Right.
Yeah,
What does you want? Is that okay?
yeah.
I just need 1 post actually, man.
Well, you could have all.
All will be hard to do, just 1 post.
And this goes,
And sit.
What's the difference between a flashing red light and a red light?
flashing red light's probably standby.
You gotta stop.
Oh no, it's running out of batteries.
Oh, that's cute. Okay, well, you have it.
Okie dokie, we're live.
All right,
Are we
yeah,
on?
all right.
Okay, how much flour did you put in?
I put 3 cups of flour,
And how much butter did I melt?
4 tablespoons of flour,
Of butter?
Butter.
4 tablespoons butter
Butter.
melted. And now I've got 2 eggs in a 1 cup. And I'm filling it up with what kind of water?
warm water.
Warm water.
And you, if you
I
have,
put milk.
if you have potato water, if you have potato water, I always, when I make my potatoes, I always save the potato water. I even put it in the freezer, but this time I didn't.
I got
I
potato
like
water
it.
here. I'll put potato water in it then.
Oh, yeah, yeah, go ahead. Since she's got potato water, fill it up. It seems like it gives you a better texture. Though Bridgie doesn't do it. Where is she? She's not around.
Right here. I'm here, I just used water
Yeah, I know you do, but I
to
don't.
make 2 cups with, beat it with the.
Well, you use 4 eggs.
Right.
But I need a fork to mix it
A
up.
little fork to mix it up. Okay.
My dough, and I think she put my recipe, it has a tendency to be thick. I like my dough thick. I don't like it paper thin.
Or you want
Paper
fork?
thin, after a while, it's very hard to work with, not only kneading it, but also cooking it. Because the stuffing pops out of it if you go too thin.
How come the egg don't want to break
Auntie
up?
Josephine's shaking her head. But I find I don't like too thin dough. It falls apart. Unless it's mixed real fine.
Egg, 2 eggs, and then she filled it up with potato water to make 1 cup.
Yeah, because I got half of Bridget's filling it ready. No, I'm not. But I'll put the butter in. There I go again.
He's
Got a
gonna add the
spatula,
butter.
so you get all the butter out.
Mhm. Oh, spatula. Right here, spatula. There you go.
I was going to bring my spatula and I forgot.
Oh, I got all that kind of stuff.
Now I put it all in,
So you just dump it all together in the
and I
Cuisinart.
put it,
Did you put, did you mention the sour cream?
yes, I did.
Do you put any salt?
No,
No salt.
Hmm?
3 tablespoons.
No salt.
and I put it in. Got a lock.
I'll make my own.
Salt cream.
Then I just put it on pause until I know it's in a form of a dough. And then I do it. And I think I have enough. And I take it out, put it on a flour.
So you didn't mix it very long at all.
No.
I love the Cuisinart.
Oh, I love it. I make my chocolate chip cookies in it. And then I just roll it in a flour. You got that warm bowl for me?
What kind of a warm bowl do you want?
Well, just so it's warm. And you cover it,
Okay.
cover it for 10 minutes.
Wow.
And you can wash this now, and that's it. And then when I roll my dough, I make sure I have flour on it. I cut it in pieces. And Bonnie's got a new cutter because I forgot mine. I got it from a squatty pork and beans can. Josephine's got it from tuna fish cans, but I like pork and beans because it's a little higher. Where's my bowl? Give me a knife, and I got my rolling pin over there.
Okay, do you want, what kind of knife do you want?
Just so cut.
A big long one?
Oh yeah, and I usually use, I don't know about Josephine, I want a little bowl of water. Where's my washcloth? Oh, so you can see your pierogi. Pardon? So you can see your pierogi. And see, I make sure that the flour on it too.
The flour out of the way.
Oh, go ahead. This isn't a real professional
yeah.
production here.
Yes, you agree.
Now,
Maybe if someone throws
Yeah,
a
but
football
just
into
a
my
little
groin.
Right, we're gonna go straight to the food channel.
Are you holding it rather than putting it on the tripod?
What's better?
No, I'm using the tripod to hold it up. But I can
even
aim
got
it this
one
way.
that we bought
Okay,
at,
why don't you talk about the mixture? Tell us again about the mixture.
I have over here sauerkraut, which I rinsed real good. Then the recipe that he has now, I boil at least 30 minutes again. And then I drain it. While it's draining, I saute my onion and garlic.
How much garlic you put in?
Oh, just the one.
How much onion?
Well, I usually want to,
One or two onions?
Yeah.
Small onions usually.
How much crowd? Is that like 1 can?
1 can or 2 pound bag.
Okay.
And then I saute it, and now I try Bridget's way. I'm covered and saute, put after the onions are sauteed and the cabbage is drained, I take a handful and I sort of squeeze it out and put it on a board and cut it up so it wouldn't be stringy. And then I put it together with the onion, and it's together about 30 minutes. Then I put it aside and let it cool off, and then I usually do my cabbage the day before. So next day I just make with my scoop the already. So when I cut now I'll cut the flour, the dough.
Has it been 10 minutes?
Is that clean, Bonnie?
What?
Your
Yep.
cutter?
Yep.
See, I'll go again like this. And I'll roll it.
Michelle? It's real full.
And you can feel it if it's
Oh,
too
that's
thin.
wonderful dough. Oh, yeah.
A lot is because of the sour cream.
Wow.
That's why I said mine is thick.
Did you put sour cream in it?
Yeah.
3 tablespoons.
Oh.
Well, one of the ladies says she puts much more, but I
Yeah, I
think,
know a lot. There's quite a few different recipes.
see, and then I just cut it.
Uh-huh.
I don't know about,
Press down on the top, and you get that, press down, it should make it fluted, yeah.
well, I don't care about the fluted.
Well,
I
isn't
just
that
want
makes
it
it
cut.
feel?
Well, I don't know about that.
Okay.
I put my fluorescent light on when I have in the kitchen,
So you see better.
so I see better because I'm blind.
Is that center light on?
I'm sorry.
Here.
Put the dough on the side, and I'll show, after you fill these, I'll show them how I do it by
Yeah,
hand.
all right,
There it is.
There's two different,
all right. Now,
A little bit more.
I usually go like this, and I take it around the edges, and then I go put water.
Bit of water on the edge.
And I'll take be careful. Sometimes I'll take, if I don't think I have enough, so I cheat. I take more. And you just sort of like make a boat and pinch it. And when Ann's over, she gets a fork and she gets it for me like this.
Fancy.
That's how I do my pie edges.
Fancy it. You can put it in there for now if you want. Want to put it in?
Did you want to, where's Bridget?
right here. You want me to, are you ready now?
No, not yet.
Oh,
She was getting you ready.
See, you sort of, that way you know that you got a boat. But my sister Mary was real fast on it. I'm not. Michelle does that.
Yeah, that's my job.
That's your job?
Oh, I thought you said you do it like Ma did.
No.
I quit doing it.
It's
Because see, my mother, what she would do,
She used to twist it. I
she
do it
would
sometimes.
twist it like a
Yeah, but
rope.
then it's too thick.
Well, Bridgie likes her dough.
yeah, I like it thicker. I'll show you, I can do a little bit. I gotta do it for a while to get the hang of it, but I'll show them a little bit of that. Because,
Where it's twisted like that?
used to do the same thing.
Who?
Bob Chalupa.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
And I remember watching her.
There was
Were there any special foods that they had at Christmas time? Tell us about the special foods. you'd
Oh
always
yeah, they had a compote made out of different dried fruits.
Uh-huh.
They had, was it barley Yeah, barley. And they had rice and apples. That's what, remember, Bobji?
Yeah, those were lupas.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
All right,
what
you
she
wanna
had.
come here now?
Yeah.
Okay, have a Christmas time.
But see,
And who are they, Bonnie, that they're talking about?
They're talking about the lupicide. Who would
that's
be
Joe,
there?
my brother, that's
Okay,
my
not the
grandparents.
Javinskis, but the Lupins.
Right,
Uh-huh.
right.
That would be,
And you have to
Yeah,
remember, a lot of like, Bacha Lupa came from, she was a hillbilly. She came from the hills of Poland. And she ruled, so she had her way of cooking. Where Stravinskys are from the lowlands.
Uh-huh,
They have their own way of doing things.
uh-huh.
My mother-in-law, her maiden name was Shostofek. They were hillbillies. Grandma came from the way up in the mountains, right? Chicha was there.
Yeah.
The road ended,
Oh,
and there
around
was
that,
more to
I
go.
think, I was thinking that you weren't Polish.
Where my husband's grandfather they're both the Knapiks and Shostofeks are from the mountains. They're what they call gulatic. No, wait a minute, I don't want to do this.
I know
I'm
it.
talking, see, that's right.
Okay, you're gonna do a
All right,
Kathy.
my dough is like this, usually. I would come and I would take this hunk. I'll go like this, this is not gonna be.
Well, that's how Mama did it from the beginning too,
Right,
but
and I
Auntie
go
Mary
one,
told her.
Yeah, well, that's how Mama did, but she used a rolling pin. My mother used a rolling pin, though.
Oh, no, I do like this, and then I take the rolling pin a little bit. And I
My
just,
mother used to do that.
yeah, oh yeah,
Sure.
that's how I did it, huh?
Well,
I was never comfortable.
I thought you did it, the whole thing by hand.
You mean,
The way you're talking, you know, that you're flattening it completely. My mother used to do that too,
yeah,
with the rolling pin.
yeah, but a lot of people say, oh no, they don't know what you're talking about when you say do this. And then
you
you
seal it with
take,
water?
yeah, and then, but I just take a
The
little
reason
bit.
I do it, I roll the whole piece out and I cut it because they're even.
Oh,
You know,
yeah.
they're nice,
And then
they're even. But my mother did it, but hers were even, hers were perfect.
yeah. Well, yeah, you know how, do you know how long it's been since I've made pierogi? Probably 4 years or better. And then you,
The
no, it's
last
been a
time,
while.
you know
Now
what
you
she
take
did?
it and you can even it, you got your, right now. Then, when you make the other way, now I don't know how,
No,
No.
start from
it's
the
been a
other
long
end.
time.
My mother used to do it.
Okay, let
Move
it,
move the flour.
right,
It's like a braiding.
right.
Yeah.
But it's too thick.
No, it isn't.
Well,
Depends on if you like the dough or you don't.
Do you wanna do another one? I'll do a close-up.
all right.
Yeah, do another one, close up.
You gotta make sure that they're closed real good, because we have to boil them now.
Yes,
And if
that
they're
is
not
the
closed real
problem.
good, they'll all open up.
If they're rolled like that.
No, if they're not sealed, the end.
See, and I don't do this step. I usually just work with I warm it a little bit in a tablespoon or teaspoon and just enough, or maybe even mostly a tablespoon or a teaspoon. I don't go through all this step. I work right
I
from the
like
pot.
it, I like it. It's even.
Yeah.
Everything with me is
She likes
even.
even. We got that.
I
Like everything.
I kinda got the message. See, and it's not that important.
I think she
Okay.
already
She's got that done?
Okay, now, before you do this, let me zoom in there.
pressed it there.
Okay, now, is Josephine gonna braid it?
Yeah,
Okay,
now you can either at this point do the fork
right.
or
Now, hold on, Joe.
Flour. Grab the flour, Bridget, move it.
Yeah. You see how she's folding that over.
So it almost ends up like a pie crust.
Like a braid.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, whenever you do the pie crust like this with your fingers, yeah.
And then,
Okay.
now, Lupa, she would do that, and then she had a way of crimping it. But I don't know how she did it now. I have to play with it, lose a few, eat a few, while I'm figuring it out. I used to do it much more than I do. I haven't played with this in a long time.
Does it
And
taste
you know, if
Well, I
you,
just haven't done it.
you have Joel, dough left over, but you have your filling that you used up, don't be afraid to freeze the dough.
Well, we make
Oh, yeah, you can freeze the dough.
Yeah.
This dough is, most of these doughs are
Well, that's
freezable.
what I did with your grandfather's cookie recipe, Bonnie, is he said I'd freeze it. The cookies? Well,
Yeah.
because I
Alright,
can't
you
make
wanna
that many
keep
cookies
going
at
for
once.
more?
Yeah, Lord. I mean, it makes like 12.
Well, maybe they want to teach Josephine or your way.
Well, this is my way. Let Auntie
Grandpa
Josephine, she
buy it.
can use this dough
Yeah.
and put it together and roll out for your, how you do
No,
it.
no, she's gonna do it.
She'll take a hunk of that?
No, she's gonna make her own dough.
Oh,
Now finish what he's doing.
Yeah, finish that, all the dough, and then we'll make the next one.
So now I got a question about the rolling pins covered in
that's the other thing.
terry
I
cloth.
don't use the cover on my rolling pin.
Wow.
I disappeared a long time ago.
So do you put a lot of flour down on it then, or?
No, well, just roll it over.
Okay.
See, I have a board and she does the cloth. It depends what you want. I mean, you
Yeah.
on the board.
I have a board and a big wood board.
That's what I prefer.
I have a flask.
I got it, that's what I get myself, is, Mom always made the big wood board for everything, and
So do you always use that cloth there?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I'll tell you
I have
something,
it
if you
cloth, I have
pour it wrong, and you go back in a couple months, a friend or two might be in it.
Oh, I don't have that problem.
I had it, crawled out, they were there.
Forget that.
Yeah, dried.
Yeah.
You know, the
Well-
ones that are,
Tell Mom, telling a story about your dad that was the baker and at his store, remember?
What do you want me to tell about?
What, about the friends, how he always had to sift his flour because the bakers always had friends in their flour.
Would you know that I, remember Bridget?
Friends
the
are
bakery
bugs.
on
Bugs.
Proctor? I decided to buy breadcrumbs.
Mhm.
Well, when I brought the breadcrumbs home, I had a whole bunch. So I let the health department know about it.
well, when the flies are flying in the showcase, I would too. And that was, I think, the case over there.
So,
I saw
yeah.
that fly flying in the showcase at Supreme.
Oh, yeah?
Really? I've never seen it
This
there.
summer.
Yeah.
Oh.
But when it's real, when there's a whole nest, you know it's time
Oh,
to,
no.
that we're
Just
talking.
some, you know, what happened is they had the door open, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah.
And-
Well, you can't help it,
Yeah.
but even in the house, I have, how many times, and it has happened to me, it's not lately, I must say, it's been a number of years. I bought a, sift, and the little buggers were in there.
Oh, yeah, that's why
From
when you
Farmer
have
Jack's or
flour,
wherever I was.
if you have flour, you have a flour container, put a couple of bay leaves, and that will distract them.
I've never had any bugs.
You never had, I bought them.
Plastic container?
No,
Oh,
I mean, I have bought this and had bugs.
oh,
That's what I'm saying.
And that's just regular all-purpose flour, correct?
Yeah. And I've had bugs when I didn't know, and they were in there.
Yeah, you
a
know
little
what,
more protein.
I have to say this because, this happened to the girl at work, she bought, flowers that they had on sale like for 59 cents.
Right.
Off brand. Well, the flour did not, it was all-purpose, and evidently they didn't have something in there that made the cookies rise and all that. Her cookies went like this. They didn't rise. So I
We
she
have-
said to me, what's wrong? I says, I know it's the flour, so she got
I think you could
gold medal,
probably,
and she did another batch,
although it'd be
no
interesting to
problem.
get
But
Mom
you
to
know,
tell
yes,
about
Michelle,
her dad.
I just made
Let's do that on
some chocolate chip
Well,
cookies,
you can be your
and I
turn.
had Pillsbury flour.
That's what she had, but she paid 59 cents for it.
Okay, you
Well,
can stop it, because you've
mine
got to do
came
that.
out
We'll just start it again
flat,
with, when we
but
start
my,
with Josephine.
my buddies, they like chocolate chips, so they don't care how they look.
Now tell me, what were you talking about laying them out?
Everybody is quiet,
They don't stack them, they need something else to put them
You
on.
put them on
Okay.
a board, and you probably, depending if they're, like if it's in a spring or sometimes if there's humidity, you should put flour on the board, so
Oh,
it
okay.
doesn't stick, because after a while, that might be the reason why you do it from cold. I occasionally will get
You
moisture
know
coming
what I
through.
do? I put it on my dryer, a wax paper, and
Yeah.
some flour, and I make all my pierogi. You get a
Well,
chance to dry up,
right.
and
My
then
sister-
then I cook all of them at once.
Right.
Well,
Okay.
my,
That's how I
my
do it.
helper, Ann, she gets a cookie sheet, what I have for cookies, it's aluminum lined. She puts flour on it, and she does the crimping. And then, when it's all done, that's how I cook it.
Okay, Mom, you were gonna tell us about Dad's store, your daddy's store? Grandpa Byer?
Yeah, he said in days of old when they didn't have any ways of preserving things,
Mm-hmm.
and so they would always sift out the wildlife.
Uh-huh.
Every bake shop always had fine sifters to sift out the wildlife.
So they keep the flour.
And,
Yep.
yeah,
Keep the
Yep.
flour.
You're right out there.
they
Yeah,
would
it's your little,
never,
But I don't think it
never
really does
throw it
bother,
away.
you know, that much.
Bugs don't take
And
Well,
then,
that's just like, what is it? Go ahead.
and then I'll tell you, I had the exterminators out in the apartment,
Softer than mine.
and he
More heavier.
and he showed me there is a flying bug. And he showed me on the cellophane packages, keep them covered, because this flying bug, he showed me the holes that they make in it. And then there's a sort of web inside, and inside of that web is the bugs that have to be sifted out. But that, you can buy it at the grocery store with those little holes in it, so they come equipped.
And then not even know it sometimes.
Yeah.
right.
in the flour.
Sure.
Oh, another thing.
Or, we've got them in the dog biscuits.
Macaroons, I mean,
You buy them in birdseed.
spaghetti,
Bird seed.
birdseed.
The little things that maggots are rising to the top. And it's
Yeah.
the bird's
Right.
happy, but I write you have to bake it real quick and to
The
kill
bird
it.
gets a little meat with his
Right.
seed,
That happened to me one
but,
time.
but we filtered it out. We're still doing it. I mean.
Hey, we're still.
Leon? At this point, because let them do that. Your soup, I added another bouillon, because after tasting it, it still didn't have the meatiness, but there's plenty of mushrooms. So I added another bouillon, that hooped it up a little bit. Now, that's boiled. Take a couple ladles and put it on the side of the clear to cool, so you'll be able to mix it with the flour so it doesn't curdle. That was the only thing. Okay, I'm done. All of this to cool it. And we'll put some flour.
I gotta get farther back here.
That flour is fine.
Okay. Is this about right, the tablespoon of flour, or?
Now, this is no measurement.
Okay.
It's all in the eye. I couldn't
Okay,
even
you need a
begin
close-up.
to guess. You just,
She's gonna boil it, I think.
you just have to,
No.
on this, making this, you just add flour to this liquid. And then you take a good, I brought my own, whisk, and you mix it up. If it's too thick at that point, because you put too much flour in, I add a little water. Just to keep it.
Don't you put the cream in it?
Huh?
Don't you put the cream in? Wait a minute.
I ain't done yet. You do not. I am getting it totally lump-free.
Why did you get lump?
And that's why it's a good idea, only one cook in the kitchen at all times. That's right. So then, you get this consistency, and basically you mix the juice a little. I cooled the stock.
Yeah, yeah, I do that one. Yeah,
Sure.
Okay.
To make it, most of us know how to.
And why don't you turn that a couple times so I can see it, you can get an idea. There you go. Pretty watery, yeah, pretty thin.
Well, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Okay.
You don't want thickness. Now, you add.
How much water did you add? 2 ladles of soup.
Who measures? I told him. This is a guess point. The probability is,
Well,
Squeeze the bowl out, we'll use it.
there's two ways to do this.
The water bowl.
Because of this has gotta be enough I don't know if this is even enough, I'm taking a wild guess. Because you cannot almost bring it to, you can bring it to a light boil, because now you're gonna be putting in the sour cream. Or, other people have told me they do this step first. Boil it, get it thickened, and then make another little consistency or hold off and put the sour cream in. What do you guys do?
Well, I put the flour and the water and
I always strain it first, make sure I have no lumps.
Oh yeah, there's no lumps,
All right. Then I put the sour cream and I mix it.
and then you bring it to a boil, but a light boil.
No.
See, this is,
I boil it and then I let it stand.
it's boiled, it's
All
boiled.
right, simmer, then I put that mixture.
Right. Now, you add the sour cream right away with this.
Yeah.
That's what I do. But other people take the flour with the broth and boil it up a little bit again. I'm only just telling you, I've seen how some of them did it.
Yeah.
All right, now at this point, I'm going to add fat-free.
There's another one there that's over
here's some over here. And here's one.
No fat-free. We're
Yeah,
not
not for cooking.
Not this stuff. Don't start screwing around with fat-free crap, because you'll never have the taste
Yep.
that
Well,
you're expecting.
the consistency in soups is terrible for fat-free stuff.
Is it?
Yeah.
I was wondering.
Use fat-free is great as a,
Otherwise I'll pitch it.
if you're just gonna put it on a potato, fat-free is fine. If you're gonna actually make, cook with it, you really want the regular sour cream.
You know, because I have trouble.
Waiting.
And I'm gonna wipe it. I scooped it, that's fine.
So I think I would use this.
And you also do the very same thing. You get this at a consistency that you can make sure you have no lumps before you put this in that soup. And what I do is, can I use this pot?
Yeah.
Oh, this is gonna be much easier
I don't usually, I
to work with like this.
so delicious.
Too small of a bowl
Yeah,
is what it
People
was.
have told me they use the battery stuff instead of different. It does taste and cookies and things like that.
No, the consistency is just.
Oh, no, you gotta use butter. I mean,
Fat-free sour cream is good for like, I think it's just as good as regular sour cream, but only as a topping.
That's right.
Not,
That's right.
not,
Yeah.
yeah.
Not to cook, because
all right, now,
the resting.
I will then go back.
Little bit.
Okay, let's show the camera.
You've mixed the sour
So I'll
cream.
change this consistency. Is consistency important anymore, or?
No, just no lumps.
Okay, no lumps.
And then go back to your soup. Take a little bit of the juice that's warmer.
On over here.
Yeah,
Can you get there?
Can't go that much further. Yeah,
And then mix it up again.
Oh, okay, so
Before
you're moving
you
this-
add the bulk of this into your stock.
okay.
Only gonna have one flour.
Make sure you mix it real good. At this point, some people have salted it. I don't bother because you've used bouillon. Some people put peppercorns. I don't bother there either.
I do.
Okay, Elsie puts peppercorn.
You know, I don't. And I didn't fish for the bay leaf or the garlic, so if somebody gets it, there's that darn moth again. Here he comes. Right over to the soup, drops right in. No, and then I'll add this, Bob, excuse me, right into here, mixing it so it doesn't curdle. Get out of here.
Yeah, I'll come get it.
Where'd he go?
Over there.
Sometimes you get them that
keep
way.
to the right, Reg.
And you keep mixing it, I just mixed it, make sure it's
Can you keep to
empty.
the right, Bridget?
What?
Can you keep to the right so I can
Right,
kind of,
right, oh, oh.
yeah, see over your shoulder there?
Did you get me counting them off?
Oh, I missed that part. Your greatest moment. You don't have to, you're fine, Tessa.
And then just keep mixing it, and then you taste it.
See, that's looking good right there.
Now, if you got a problem,
It's a little bland. I think it's a little bland. You try it. At this point, if it's not thick enough, which there should be no problem.
Well, what's thick enough? That's not thick at all there. That's
Bland.
Bland. We need some more bouillon. Yep. You got. We'll just put some more bouillon. See, when Kathy, and it's in the corner there, Bob. Right there, I see it, by Chachowski.
so. Let's talk thick enough. I mean, that has consistency, but it's
Thick would be real thick, where the
Okay.
flour would boil and
Okay.
thicken the agent.
Is that what you'd use as flour to thicken it up?
Right.
If you okay.
Right. That was what one is enough. I'm sure one is enough.
Do you have a knife? Should need a knife to cut that out.
Yeah, I'm gonna, just a small knife.
Yes, and that is a good spatula, or a good whisk. Get the whisk with the big handle.
Yeah, just,
That's the rule of thumb.
see, this is nice and soft.
There's the Knappich patented cut up the bouillon technique.
And when it isn't, and it's real hard, and you don't do that, you just take that right out of the water. It's more like Julia Childs here. And if you,
Do we have to boil it again once we put
no,
that in?
you can't. What you're gonna have to do
Now that the sour cream's
is
in.
you're gonna have to stand here and just keep mixing it.
Stir it and warm it up, but don't let it boil.
Right, and watch so that bouillon, technically another correct way would have been is to take hot water, dissolve the bouillon into that hot water,
And put that in, right. I've seen that.
which is what I should have done.
Yeah, we
Unfortunately.
won't tell.
Well,
This is
there's
just
too many
between
people.
you and the camera.
No, this is why, when you were at home, I would guarantee I would do that.
Yeah,
I would put it on the side.
yeah,
I
but
would, we would just do it different. You know, you're in your own kitchen, you're thinking.
Yeah, I really love it. It's amazing.
But I wouldn't hurt, it wouldn't hurt
so as a
to come to a boil. And just keep doing this. A little tip, I don't know if anybody knows, we're always gonna figure 8, that it will never stick, especially if you're thickening flour, whether it's gravy or soup. And you're not thickening this. You should be, it should be without being thick, because all you're going to do is put it over these mashed potatoes. And your flavor will come in the onion, but this should have a little bit more of a rough holdiness.
Now, normally it's Dr. Brown. Is it the mushrooms you think that we used?
No,
do we use,
it's fine, Bonnie, because you're going to have onions and garlic in your potatoes. Hold it, not taste it.
I can't go back over there.
oh sure you can, go on over.
The other solution would be for me to put more the mushrooms, but that wouldn't help. Stock and mushrooms, or more bouillon, and that, you gotta be careful. That's why I say it's important to count. Count.
Now, you're not telling us what you were doing there. You're doing all this talking, but you didn't tell us.
Basically, you saw me put the flour with the water, make sure it didn't curdle, add the sour cream. Now the problem we ran into was, I feel it's a little bland. So we added a bouillon. The correct way would have been to dissolve that bouillon in hot water and add that into the but we didn't do that because I wasn't thinking, I was talking at the same time and cutting. So I'll just watch it and just make sure that it cooks through. But it's okay now.
And you can't boil it.
No, you can't, yeah, you can't boil it.
Okay.
Because now, when we
Bring
make...
to boil.
No, not now, because of the sour cream, you can't bring it to a rolling boil. It would burn on you.
And also it would separate.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but you could just stand there and keep mixing it to make sure that it doesn't curdle and then just turn it down. You could, that's why I said, my mother did it and I did it. I watched her. She didn't bring it to a boil, but she definitely got it pretty damn close to a boil. And because you still have flour that needs to be cooked,
Yeah.
that you put in that water. So, and now after that, you can just leave it on to simmer or take it off and let it sit. And the longer it sits, like if you had made it a day ahead of time or early in the morning, it could sit and it would get the more musty because it would absorb The mushroom stuff, the flavors. And then you can go on to make your potatoes with, because all you do then now is Bonnie has already cooked the potatoes.
Yep.
And cubed them. I'm gonna come by, I'm gonna fry onion, garlic together, butter, and then when that's ready, drain the potato water, and put the potatoes back in the pot and use that butter, onion, and garlic to mash it. And that's it.
And then you add that back, and you serve that over the potatoes.
Now the potato water, that's where you'd save it for the pierogi.
I say.
At this point, when you're making, the sure pierogi are made and ready to go.
Okay.
Unless you want to boil starch or save it, or you're that kind of a person, I throw it out.
No, see, like if you're
Drain
gonna
it down the drainer.
make potato and cheese, so you're gonna have the boiling the potato, so you will already have the boiling water.
Right, okay.
That's what I do, and I save it. I even put it in the freezer.
Well, Chelsea saves lots. Well, she does. She does things. You know what you should have her do on film?
Yeah.
Because you may never know what 20 years will bring in the world. We're going to be gone. How to darn nylons. And stop.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't know how to do that.
Oh yeah, I still got.
I'm kidding you. You really should know how, because you never know what's going to come.
When your mama was in Washington D.C., we got
I used to laugh at you.
nylon anklets.
It's
So when I got a hold, they were darned.
it's an art. Let's hope to God we never need to use.
Yeah.
Or a need, but you never know.
Do you want me to take that from you?
Yeah, put it in that box.
And that's what you use in these?
Farmer's cheese?
Farmer's cheese. Where do you get it
That's
from?
good. You can get it almost anywhere. Tastes good.
You can get it any place.
Okay. Farmer's cheese?
I eat that stuff raw.
That's how you make pierogi if you don't have a Cuisinart.
Okay,
All right,
okay.
all right, lead us on.
This is how it was done in the beginning. In the beginning of time.
The beginning.
Yes, Kathy has ground out the flour for us.
How much do you use?
Right there, 2 cups.
Okay, 2 cups of flour.
Yeah, this is a half cup, so I'm gonna put 4 of these.
Okay, now Josephine, what do you have in that mixture in the bowl that you're scooping? Tell me again.
It's 1 heaping cup mashed potatoes.
Okay,
It's more than 1, Mother. Yeah, I know. 1 small cup dry cottage cheese. My mother uses Farmer's.
uh-huh,
Salt and pepper to taste.
okay.
Do you put the chives or onions, Mom? Onions. Onions?
How much onion?
Small onions, I sauteed the small onions in butter.
flour did I put?
Okay.
I don't know.
If we can't talk and do this stuff.
Come on, just to use a... Does that look right, Mom?
Yeah. I think so. That's a problem.
See, I already have a reason now if something happens.
If they don't turn out well, we know why.
Okay.
What did she do
This
good?
recipe says a half a cup warm milk or a cup water, and my mother uses warm milk.
I have milk right there.
All right,
Okay,
and
do you
what
want it
she
warmed
does,
up?
She puts the warm milk
they're
in
doing
with
that.
she puts the teaspoon of butter. Do you see that teaspoon of butter?
And sour cream.
And sour, well, yeah,
Oh,
you
you
put
put
that,
water
you put the sour cream with the milk?
Yeah.
Okay, she puts it all.
No,
I didn't.
no, just the butter and the milk.
In the milk, and she warms it all together
Okay,
in the microwave, just warm.
so do you need to have that do that?
Michelle?
Yeah, I need a little.
Well, you know,
Here.
a lot of times.
No, I need some, I'm saying to put it in.
Cool, put in the microwave.
Get a bowl
And you don't have
right
to
above your head.
put, oil. Only put it in.
How much,
You
how much,
show
Kathy?
them?
Oh, yeah.
How much,
A half a cup of warm milk.
Okay.
2 tablespoons sour cream. Oh, no, you don't put the sour cream in there.
okay, half a cup, and you put how much the butter? You put the butter in with it?
Yeah, it has 1 teaspoon. Now, my mother makes a well here.
Okay, a
on
little,
the side.
little hole down the middle
Yeah,
there?
in the middle. And
Okay.
you put the egg in there, right? 2 eggs, Mom?
2 eggs.
Are you using the recipe off that sheet that,
Yeah.
that, oh, okay. It's the sheet that Elsie gave me from the
Excuse me.
newspaper. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I want
Mom,
it
how
back.
long do you put it in the microwave?
You, just maybe about 10, 15 seconds. That's why you want it warm, you don't want it hot.
Put it on speed for 1 minute and then just pull it out.
And you want 2 tablespoons sour cream that I put right in here?
Yeah.
This is 2 tablespoons.
Which one?
Go on the top.
This one?
Yep.
This 6?
Hit the top one. No, right above it.
Oh, okay.
Yep. And 1.
Okay.
And then just pull it out after 25, 15 seconds. Yeah. Count backwards.
Salt.
At about 45 or 40, take it out. Yeah.
Just eat your way.
Salt. Okay, Elsie? Salt's right above there. You know where the salt is?
Had it there before.
Right there where the plates are?
You heat, Mom, is the butter melted into the?
Oh, I know.
Not all together.
We had it not
Okay,
so long ago.
take it out then.
Salt.
Remember where we had it.
Salt and pepper should be on the turntable.
Oh,
I'm gonna make it. They get, you know, they give you the
you got
recipe.
this.
Is that okay, or do you need?
Just
I'm
to
gonna make it
taste.
sometime when you guys are over.
I
A
don't-
half a teaspoon, does that look like half a teaspoon?
I think that's good. That's good.
Put it in the
You got it.
Kathy,
You
don't
got
put
it.
any more.
You got it.
For the love of God, stop!
You're gonna do what, this is how you don't do it. Then you wonder why my food doesn't come out.
Don't do what Kathy don't does.
Now, don't go like this in the dough because it gets all in your fingers
Oh,
and
yeah.
it's gooky.
Mhm.
So you gotta go like that. Right, Mom?
Yeah, you gotta work it.
This is where the problem comes.
Yeah, I get mad at the dough too. You shouldn't feel bad.
Mhm.
That's why I like
kill
the
it as
squeezing
well.
now. It
Mhm.
does it for me.
That's
Now,
what
what about
Josephine
the
said she
sour
did.
cream? Did you put the sour cream
We
in
put
there?
it out.
Okay, well, see, I'm gonna shut up and just go.
Get my fork and do my thing here
Yes, I-
after she does it.
Now that's what I'm used to. My father taught me here jam.
Who are you talking to?
Okay, all right, let's put the fork here.
Oh.
That's a good
Oh.
idea.
Michelle, you're in the way here.
Oh,
Yep. So Bridget said she uses surgical gloves when she does the pierogies
we're
on the
not
edges.
taking anything from somebody that's sitting in the other room.
You gotta come out here.
get in the way.
Yeah, working. I told you how you need it.
Yeah, you told me, but it's stuck in my fingers.
Well, work your thing. Take that dough off your finger.
That surgical glove idea is really good.
Yeah, but then one time when she goes and makes the dough, you need,
Not
like
good.
this, she brings it over my
Can't
house
keep
and
her
she
fingers
says,
out of it,
you
kids."
finish it. And to take it off the fingers and just keep working.
Put a little flour in your hands and come on. Boy, I can't fish Kathy meat.
One hand. Who does that? Julia Childs?
Yeah.
One hand behind her back?
Yeah.
Do you want me to do it? See, now, I'm trying to be gentle with the dough. I have a tendency to just whack it around.
Well, the water's boiling, use the heel. Take your heel, don't put it on you, put it down, don't, and when it's boiling, let's come down to simmer, don't put it when it's boiling.
What's boiling?
Water for pierogi.
Oh, it's a job. Put it down. Right above it.
Okay, does that seem like it's pretty good?
Turn it down.
Is it
Put
good?
this in.
Yeah.
When I got the right amount of flour in.
I'm sorry,
It looks good. Now you need a warm bowl too?
Yes, warm bowl too.
Neither
The
another.
ingredients are different and probably the number of
John,
pierogi we get.
Grab a
will be
bowl
little
and
bit
stick it
less.
in the
Here
microwave,
it
warm
is.
it up.
Why do you guys use, you're both using something I don't do. Warm bowl. I put it in my stainless
I don't know,
steel.
that's what recipe calls it.
Then I throw it on, I throw it down, I put the stainless steel
Well,
on top.
I told
don't,
Bonnie, we have a crock bowl,
Uh-huh.
and I make it real hot, and wipe it off and dry
I
it.
don't know if there's a reason for it.
Well, all the recipes tell you keep it warm for 10 minutes.
Oh, yeah?
check.
Well, I keep it warm by covering it with the stainless steel bowl. No air gets to it.
That's
I
right.
think we should start cooking
you
them
want to
ahead of
make
time, then that way we won't have all at once.
Okay,
Okay.
well, I think we've got that.
I didn't salt it or anything.
No, I don't salt it, and I usually boil it.
No salting.
I put, excuse me, I put oil with salt.
Oh, yeah?
I put oil.
Well, see, I put oil after they're done.
I put oil in that water, so just in case.
Well,
Yeah.
that's a good idea.
Oh, yeah, not olive oil. Olive oil is not good in, boiling water like that.
Why? I wonder.
Because of the,
So
boil
thick?
point. The boil
No,
point.
she did, I did something
But I
and
put a
she
little
did
bit in.
something.
Auntie Josephine,
And
do
we
you
use
put water,
olive
salt or
It just
water,
didn't
Taste was
salt
better.
or oil in your boiling water?
Yeah, I put a little bit.
I do
Not
too.
oil, just salt.
Well,
Okay.
either or. Yeah, so that it doesn't.
And you
Sure.
cook about 3 at a time, you said?
Well,
Oh, I
this you almost have to go up and look.
Okay, we'll have to.
Boil about 6
When I make
a
a batch, I put them all at once.
Yeah.
3 minutes, and they'll come to the top. Bridget, is this the hole over here?
Now, over here it says 5 minutes, so.
Yeah,
Sure
3 to
is.
5.
Here's your warm bowl.
Or it looks like it.
Candy?
Am I ready, Ma? Almost.
Oh, it's pretty.
Let me go wet this.
Okay.
Where's your wooden spoon?
In, underneath
So
where
what about
Michelle
the
is.
feel makes you know that it's done?
It doesn't stick to the board.
All right.
Okay.
See, it doesn't stick to the board.
Okay.
I'm still trying to get the
Excuse me, you need, you need this boiling, don't you use yours a little boiling?
It was boiling already.
I know, but I like it boiling a little bit.
Well, it was boiling.
All right, you're cooking, I'm leaving.
Okay. Okay, Chacha's got them lined up on her hand.
She opened up another one on Allen Road, right off of Southfield.
Oh, really?
She opened about a month, and I meant to show it to her.
So if you use a mushroom, do you use
Watch out for the
regular
cord.
mushrooms, portobellos, or do you use the
I think they just use the regular mushrooms.
When you do it, what do you use?
For a mushroom pierogi. In fact, I think it's on there. Is there a mushroom?
Which is that mushroom?
You can use either one.
Whatever.
I don't use, we don't use the Polish mushrooms in there.
No, you can,
Just use-
no, most people can't because they're so expensive and they're hard to get.
Do you put mushrooms in
Portobello,
Pierogies?
or just drink it
Sometimes,
out
sometimes.
of the can,
It's that high there, that is.
Because Mom was
out of the can, a little steamy,
canned
porcini.
mushrooms in, that they poke through the,
Oh, because you gotta chop
them. You know, give you a little.
Well, yeah, but still, but they're kind of hard.
Sure.
You don't have that problem?
How come I got foam on
I don't know
here?
what they all taste
I'd like to know why I got foam.
Is this pan over here for the pierogi? You don't want
Yeah.
anything in it, right?
Which of those three are the strongest?
Oh, I didn't put the timer on. You got a
I
timer?
haven't got a timer. I got a watch. It's underneath right where you are, go down to the other side. In a big tub, the other
See,
side.
they'll come up to a top anyhow, Bonnie.
Okay.
And then I'll still, like Bridget says, I have boiling water. See, it's boiling.
Uh-huh.
And then I have a slotted spoon when
I
my
have a
time,
slotted spoon. You want one slotted spoon?
when we'll be taking them out.
Okay.
I don't know if they want to eat it right away or
Well, I
what.
figured we'd have those for lunch with our borscht.
Well, I don't know if you want it cooled off then.
I also like.
Well, we can put them in the oven and warm. Put them in tin foil.
What do you call that? What pinky?
On the 17th, when the big hand is on.
What do they look like?
Little tiny, cute.
Do you flip them? Do you work on flipping these
No,
over?
because no.
They're supposed to, yeah, you do have.
I don't know what you call
Huh?
them.
Flip it?
No, 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 you got foam. How come you got foam?
That's what I was telling her.
Pigeon.
I hope this water was clean.
I didn't put the water in. Who put the water in?
I don't know, Bridget.
Yeah, it's okay.
Maybe it's the flour.
Flour. Could be the flour.
They're little tiny, you almost see.
Now, how long do you, what do you time them for?
3 minutes.
3 minutes?
3 to 5 minutes I usually,
For the whole thing?
for the,
The whole cooking time?
cooking time, yeah.
Okay.
And when you're boiling too high, I lower it.
Now, you think that's too high, what we're seeing right now? Okay.
I don't know what you call them. I have no idea.
I'm sure somebody
Well,
should ask somebody who goes mushroom hunting.
not only that, look, I'll get Gucci Gobble or Ann to, tell me she's got a dictionary. Because, you know, when,
I don't know what you call them.
We do mushrooming, but those aren't any of the kinds we ever, what's the kind
Oh, the morel, well, the ones
Slotted
that we
spoon is
use
here?
for the.
Yeah,
what we
look in the-
go
Right in
to,
there.
in
Okay.
the fall.
So I'm trying to get it to record again. There it is. It's recording again.
Well, that's the morel.
I guess.
That's not,
That's right. Oh, yeah.
that's nothing
Okay.
like the two that I'm talking
Yeah,
about.
okay.
This mushroom for the soup is a fall
I'll
mall.
put it over here,
fall,
and we can put a little bit of
Mushroom.
butter or
and
oil,
that's
whatever,
only
so we don't have to warm them up again.
Only around
Okay.
September, if there was a window that they needed to get those mushrooms. And, I remember my grandma, my dad.
Oh, no, that's okay, they
Uncle,
got it.
my aunt, Helen and Ray and all of them going, and we'd be home and cleaning.
How many you want to put
They
in
would
there?
bring bushels.
I put 5, so I usually count, you know, how many I got. So I always have a,
We used to all go in the
all right,
spring back
keep
home.
putting it.
My grandma and
Now,
grandpa.
Ron, my husband,
See, that's like Kathy and I, we usually do
I
this
don't
part
know
together.
the right mushroom.
Well, I do that myself. Auntie Ann does the,
Before,
pension.
You want me to warm up the oven a little bit?
I wasn't sure.
Where's your butter?
I've got some in the fridge. I'll back up. You want to get it, Michelle?
What?
Butter?
Oh, here's some, here's some. You might as well use the rest of this.
Yeah, put it over here.
Silver dime does what?
Silver dime, I'm told they'll bring out the.
You might as well let me get in there now and get some more, because I think she'll need
One
some.
of the two, it's been 20 years in an emergency type.
I don't know how much it is.
Do you want to know?
Auntie Josephine, you remember that, don't you, that you throw a silver dime in the mushrooms?
Yeah, it would turn black.
It's
The
a black.
dime would turn black?
No, the dye will not, but the mushrooms will turn black.
But Bridget,
The poison mushroom.
but Bridget,
Wow.
we always also use onion. If the onion gets dark, it's no good.
Okay, I
That's
remember
like-
the dime.
Remember when we were up north
one year?
Yeah, we bought, yeah. We picked mushrooms, we didn't know what we were picking.
One mushroom, I think you said, wasn't, you weren't sure.
Yeah.
And it turned it all black.
Yeah.
Purple. Drew it all.
So you had to throw
Well,
all
one
of them
time
out.
I did it here. I picked yours before people lived here.
Yeah, sometimes we get a lot of mushrooms out here.
Yeah, you
And
get
I
the
went
dry.
out there and I picked them and, I brought them home and Ma looked at them and she said, well, they look good. My dad looked at them and he said he smelled them and that Dad was still living. And we boiled them and we threw the dime in and they were good. We ate them.
But you know,
Yeah, well, you know what's on
And they
our,
were good.
over
But I
here,
didn't have mashlaha. I thought I had a mashlaha out there, but it wasn't.
no, what you had are the ones that they dry, because we had them on our property, the ones that you dry. Under, I don't know what they call them, but they're
Morels?
yellow, no, they're big.
And
They're the big
bracket
flat tops.
mushrooms
Yeah.
are good
Yeah.
too. Grandma Lupa used to, my grandfather would yell at her. He didn't like the brackets, but she always.
oh yeah, that is that.
No,
Yeah.
I don't like them.
I know.
What is
He always
it?
liked-
Oh, those that came all to get mashlaki is what
No,
we
no,
call
no,
not
listen,
like.
that's how big they came, wow.
Oh,
And
let's
she used
see.
to
How
love
big?
them.
Show me.
Yeah, and my
This big.
father was
Oh, wow.
so mad at her, and she insisted she wanted them mushrooms.
Well, tell Margie about what traditional a Christmas Eve dinner is and why we have what we have. Because it's different than a regular celebration.
You know how to cook, right?
Right.
No, it
Right,
has,
go ahead.
it has
Or who?
historical and religious.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
all right.
Don't forget, Christianity came to Poland over 1,000 years ago. So you were still dealing with people who were serfs. You know, there was gentry, but they were poor people.
Are you fine?
And with that
Well, I'm just
Christianity,
taking a
everything
chance.
had a significance in the food you ate, the number of dishes that were on the table.
They were an odd number, weren't they?
12, I believe,
Do you know why?
because of 12 apostles.
Right.
And no matter what your gathering was, you always kept one chair empty for the unknown guests, because that was believed, and still is believed. It always sounded good to me.
whoever watches that door is Jesus himself.
Mhm.
He is your guest. And you sit him down. They have the wafer. That evolved, I'm sure, in sharing of breaking of the bread, because that is what you do on Eucharist. When you gather in church, we break bread.
Yes.
What kind of wafer do you?
It's just unleavened bread.
We get it at church.
And they now make it fancy and they mold it, you know, and
One of my,
flat piece. I have it, but I don't have any with me today.
I have one. One of my friends gave me one. It was wrapped in a Polish,
Yeah,
for the
right.
Polish thing.
And so you
I should go get it.
share it. Some people, Ron's family, I think they got lazy because they just take a piece off, they pass it to the next one and the next one, and they hold it, and then the head of the family or whoever is asked to say the head prayer, he will say the prayer, or she will say the prayer, and will wish everybody their season's greetings, and if there's any particular greetings they want at that point, and then everybody just eats their little piece. We have always gone around and individually, and there's said in Polish, it's called, if I were to give you and I would break it off to you, I think it's, start me off, no,
Życzę wam
Życzę wam szczęścia, zdrowia, fortuna,
a po śmierci
a po śmierci niebieskie
niebieskie
korony.
korony.
Which means I wish for you health, wealth, good fortune, and on your passing, on your dying, that you will earn and get the heavenly crown that we are all to get when we go to heaven. And then the dishes on the table are all meatless. Now we, Americans now, we throw in the odd ham, or they make kielbasa. But everything was fish years ago. Well, we still do. We'd have carp. I remember Ma had carp or whitefish.
Herring, you have
Oh,
that smoked herring.
Carp.
Yeah, we have the herrings.
Yeah, herring. There's
Creamed herrings.
right, different delicacies. There's fruit, compote, everything again, meatless. Barley, kasha, with mushrooms. Kasha is buckwheat, with mushrooms.
We eliminated that.
Yeah, not too many of us like, I mean, I'd eat it, but, you know, it's,
The kids probably.
pierogi,
Mushroom
soup.
borscht.
Some Polish people eat a definite borscht tonight. It's a clear beet. We, from where our parents taught us, we use the one that we have, which is the, like almost some call cream of mushroom. I'm trying to think what other people eat. Basically, and lots of sweets and stuff.
3 kinds of pierogi already.
Oh yeah, that's right. You would have the 3 pierogi, the cabbage, the mushroom, or the potatoes and cheese, and mushrooms and cheese, or potatoes and cheese. Or I make, which I haven't made in a long time, is plum or fruit pierogi. I love my fruit
I like those too. I do too.
And if I have
I promise I'll make them.
I soak apricots.
Oh, wouldn't that be good?
Peaches or even cherries.
Mm.
But you'll find those fancy pierogies more to people who came from the northern parts than you were from the southern. And I'm trying to think, and basically it's to get together as family, remember where you came from, celebrate as family, and because religion is very important, and that's how it all came about.
What about Margie? What about with your grandma down south? Now she was German, wasn't she?
Yeah, ours were, you know, we were much more traditional in your Christmas Eve was going to church. I mean, we didn't have any special meals on.
No special German dishes or something?
No, not on Christmas Eve, you know, and on Christmas Day we always had either turkey or ham,
Uh-huh.
sometimes goose.
Uh-huh.
But you know, it was much more the same. No, and I don't remember my grandfather. I mean, my grandmother and grandfather made a lot of schnitzels and stuff like that. But they just, I mean, they weren't special for just holidays. They just made them, you know.
So it's just the regular turkey,
Yeah.
turkey holidays. Mom, what about you? What about when you went to New York and that, to the Danish for the Christmas? What kind of foods and things would they do there?
We did sauerkraut.
I always
Oh, yeah.
went to Grandpa's house, and he lived alone, he had a housekeeper.
Uh-huh.
He could just go to the telephone and call his favorite butcher, and he says, just load me up, I'll have a little of everything,
Uh-huh.
send over plenty.
Uh-huh. So, what about when when your mom would cook a special meal, what would she do down there? I remember we have different things than the regular foods.
Oh, yes,
Well, the Danish are known for
that
their
was her father,
smorgasbord.
with her mother being dead, see.
Yeah, okay, but what would Grandma cook?
Oh, then we would have,
Which one do you want to use? Do you want one? Yeah, okay. Yeah.
we would have more pastries,
Yeah.
of course, good old chicken.
You got 3 more?
We'd have the,
Noodles,
yes.
the noodles from the,
They can save it for
were cooked in boiling.
Well, I like these pierogies, only there's tons of eggs in them. You know, when you go to make them, a dozen eggs in your batter, for your noodles.
In the batter.
And these are for noodles, Danish noodles.
Oh.
Yeah, I make those
Yep,
every year.
yep,
So I'll be
yep.
making them again.
Yep, and then they do the chicken. Margie does a wonderful chicken soup. We also had apple cake. We haven't made an apple cake. Grandma always would make an apple cake with breadcrumbs. You ever had anything like that?
Apple Betty is
No.
the nearest American thing to it.
Uh-huh.
So Apple Betty is seasoned more,
Mhm.
Yeah.
far more seasoned.
The
Why
other
don't you move
thing
your
we
chair
would
up here a
get
little
together too, it was important, we all sang Christmas carols in the language.
Oh, okay, in
And
Polish?
everybody knew them.
Uh-huh.
And I was gonna bring a tape to Kathy's house, because I had lunch, I went and had dinner at Polonez the other day, and I'm telling you, I was eating and crying at the same time.
Oh, yeah, brings back
So
more
I
memories.
said, you know, we haven't had Christmas carols in a long time, even if we don't sing them.
You know what, I had sheet music and I don't know what happened to it.
Well,
that
I know
don't know
that,
where
but
it
I
is.
mean even just as background music while we're eating.
That's how we do by my in-laws. Sing in English and Polish.
Yeah. So anyway,
Yeah, those are the last 3. Well, I had problems in my other house with the electrical, if I would plug in too many things, remember? I think I have that Polish tape though. We have one that just drags.
well, I'll bring you one. I've got 2 of them, 2 or 3. And when Margie said about Goose, our Churchamalas and Uncle John, that we used to go there every Christmas day, that was also a definite, either a goose or a duck, when they kill by the, oh, that was their specialty.
See, we raised all of our own too.
Yeah, well, they wouldn't, but they go to the market and they'd come and, they'd come over and on her way home, she'd stop over for a shot and a beer to make her way back home. Because she was walking from what, years ago, Western Market, and she would, they would fatten him up in the garage and stuff. And Uncle was a butcher, so he always, we had all kinds of good food from that.
Oh, we always ate well.
And I too fixed a goose for Christmas. No, I had a duck. I always liked it when,
Goose
boy,
and duck
did my
dark
husband's
meat.
family, they didn't eat.
Dark.
Thank God I had ham, and I had some hamburgers,
They wouldn't eat the
Polish
duck?
hamburgers. No, they complained up a storm.
Joe loves that dark meat, so, you know.
I do, you know.
Yeah, it's
they
juicy.
done it.
And the goose
We had
fat,
baking
I always
donuts.
save that goose fat and cooked with the pastries with that goose fat. It's just outstanding. Oh, is it good? I've never had something, I made a pie crust out of
And
it.
a goose egg.
It's really flavorful too.
Yeah.
Oh, make a cake with that. And
Oh, really?
Oh, wonderful.
Mm. Huh.
Now that I've never done.
But somebody brought it to the office when we had the
Yeah,
the
I've
garage.
never made that.
And-
I never even thought of using goose eggs for cakes and
I don't
stuff.
even know where to get them.
No,
this
I
was-
imagine you could go down to the market.
This was the wild ones
Yeah.
that came on his property, and he didn't want it perpetuated, and he
Right.
he brought the eggs into the office. So I went home and I made a chocolate cake with him. Oh boy, I'm telling you.
Yeah, but Bridget and I did something and we used olive oil. Yeah.
Oh, that, well, we didn't have no oil. That's the problem, you're so
Ooh.
self-conscious that you forget to keep at least a jar of Wesson
Yeah.
or canola or something. And all we had was, I made an apple cake, fresh apple cake, and I said, oh, what the hell, throw in the olive oil. It wasn't bad, but it didn't rise.
It's heavy.
And it didn't have, let me get that.
Yeah.
It was a little different.
Mhm.
How is this coming along?
Okay, now we're doing Josephine's now, and she's been putting the potato mixture in there, and she's, now, you know, I haven't got what Michelle's doing. Let me go over here and let's see what,
Just closing it, just crimping the dough.
let's see. Let me, oh, I gotta focus
Because you
it.
use the tuna, they're smaller than the other ones.
Okay, let me get a close-up. I gotta move over because the glass is in the way.
But I don't know what.
Okay, so you're just going around the edge.
The wrinkle.
I thought about that.
Yeah,
Okay,
just make
just-
sure, like, how many do you usually make when you make it? How many recipes of this do you make?
I just make one.
I'll get about, what is it, 18, 19 of those?
Well, see, mine,
For Christmas, you've got to
No,
do
Ma. Oh, no, a lot more. Double.
I get 38.
Triple it.
38, I can get 50 out of mine.
Good for you. You use double. You use double.
I use
Is this
double.
a contest? I can get 100.
Who can get their stuff finished?
I do them real thin.
You know, going back, Bonnie,
No, I can only get 50 out of my recipe.
Bonnie,
Yeah,
going back to the Christmas Eve
Yeah.
tradition,
Yeah.
when we were children, going to school, we had a poem to say at the table, so everybody was crying, because it was, you know, it was a little kid reading
Yeah.
a poem.
do you remember yours?
No. But I did bring them.
Did you?
Oh, yeah.
Now, this was when you were a little girl?
Yep.
And at your house, huh? Did you go to both sides of the family on Christmas Day or one
No,
side on
it
Christmas Eve?
Well, you really, my dad and my mother came from similar places, you know.
Yeah? Well, did they live close by?
Family
Well,
here.
There's no family here.
There's no family from a mother and father.
Yeah. Okay, well, that's true. Just your dad.
Well, no, both of them were from the old country.
Oh, and they didn't have any brothers or sisters or anything over here?
No,
That's
Oh.
why, but you know,
not
my
right
dad,
away. Not,
Yeah.
well,
but
Are you
my
right?
dad brought his brother to the United States,
Yeah?
and he worked in Standard Tube, wasn't it, Josephine?
you can make
I don't
noodles
know.
out of it too.
Anyhow, you know, he spoke real good English,
Uh-huh.
have a noodle.
and, but his wife
thing,
wanted to
you
go
know,
back
for
to
my-
Poland.
Yeah.
So when my cousin from my mother's side took me across the channel to visit him, he didn't have anything to say in Polish. He said it in English.
So he kept all that
He
English.
never forgot it.
Yeah. How old was he when he came over here and learned?
Well, he was a young man, and we were kids.
Okay.
Mary, boy, she said she'll never forget when he was going back. She cried.
Yeah, she's gonna miss him, huh? Huh.
His name was George.
He's long gone, I know. And is that George's family that you visit when you go over to Poland?
No, that's my mother's family.
That's your mom.
And my,
What was her maiden name? What's her last name? Your mother's side of the family. Kudig. Okay.
K-U-L-I-G.
Oh,
But
okay.
then, you know, I go visit my dad's family.
Yeah.
My nephew was the one that was a tailor.
Uh-huh.
He
Oh, he made that coat for you?
made that suit for me.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
now, his daughter got a son, so when I took Adam's name,
Yeah.
he was in his glory, even though he didn't speak English, but they got along.
They got along.
Oh, yeah.
They figured boys have a way of communicating. So it-
That one little one, I never told Adam because it was hurt him.
yeah.
You know, Adam was on a chunky side then.
Yep.
And he used to call him a little gossip.
What? Nasty little kid. Yeah.
Other than that, you know,
So when you get done with the 3 minutes, what do you do?
I take him out on a slotted spoon,
Uh-huh.
put it in a cold water, let it cool off a little bit, then
About how long's a little bit?
Oh, just so it's cooled off.
Okay,
And then I put it on a cake rack,
yeah,
so it would drain.
okay.
So if it's nice and dry, you can either put oil over them or not. I usually make sure they're dry and I pack it in a freezer.
Bob just put his head up.
Bob made his appearance known over there.
And you serve them then with what?
You can serve it with butter. A lot of places serve them with butter and onions, but I don't care for it. And then sour cream.
Okay, and do you serve them warm or cold?
Oh, warm. Definitely.
How do you warm them up?
Well, I usually just pan it on top.
Fry, pan fry.
Yeah.
Or you can have it
Or you
boiled up if you want it for a pan.
Or, you know, I don't like them pan fried, you know, like they make it brown. I just want the heat to go through it.
I
Because-
put a little water in it
Oh,
and put it in a
yeah.
microwave.
Oh,
even
yeah,
on
you
the
can do
stove,
that too.
Because I too like mine boiled rather than.
And I love mine fried with the butter crispy.
Oh,
Ugh.
no, I don't.
Crusty with
See, when we
sour
go
cream.
to a Polish restaurant, they like deep fry them. That's
Yeah.
when we were.
A lot of places.
Huh, I've never had them
to
deep fried.
Hamtramck, they had a pierogi festival, and they had a deep fry. They weren't bad, but
yet?
Yeah.
It's ruining the peanuts.
I think so too.
Okay, what are you doing right now, Bridget?
I'm just cutting up the onion. I'm melting about a little more than a half of,
I should have gave you that squeezing iron. You could have shrinked it
well, put that on
Wow.
my hand.
Why are you cutting up onions?
for
I'm
the
gonna make
potato.
for the potato, yeah, the potatoes.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna get that ready because I told Cha-Cha I wanna eat, I hate to do this, but I gotta eat and run. Are we on camera?
Yep.
I got a lot of things to do.
To be discussed later. Ooh, that sounds
You know,
good.
another suggestion to you girls, if you really wanted to, if you wanted to try this at one point,
Yeah?
go to the library and get out a book on Polish cooking.
I've got a book on Polish cooking, but I love to watch somebody do it.
Right. Then, since we've done this,
Yeah?
you'll be able to either follow what they tell you, or you'll remember, no, she did it this way, or she did it
Right.
that way.
Uh-huh.
Well, you know what, Bridget? The problem with that is that, again, it's because of the different regions. Like,
Yeah.
and we get the, what's that, those Polish month?
Yeah, well, Polish,
Yeah, we get, and they have recipes, or they have, you know, things in there, and I'll look at that and I'll say, we don't do that now.
I know, but I'm saying, but I find it interesting to read things like that. I mean,
And see how things have changed a little bit.
I'll do a number of different books.
Uh-huh.
I've read cookbooks. In fact, I was reading my daughter-in-law's mother got her Slovak, because they're Czechoslovakian and Lithuanian. And I was reading hers, and I don't like some of the things they make, but I'm not used to it.
Yeah.
And it's not as, to me, it's not as sharp flavored as the way I would do it. But, again, but
We-
they
I have
have
all
much.
kinds of cookbooks, God knows.
We all have our collections here.
Oh, Lord.
Yes.
I think I buy from every church and everything too.
Yeah.
You're just as good.
That's
Different.
why I tell everybody, you want to cook or come over my house.
Turn it off.
Okay.
Sometimes I like to do this slowly and let it brown on the very edges, you know, without
Yeah.
browning.
No, you just more or less saute it.
Yeah,
Grilled it.
So they're just-
now and then, I like to do it that way.
So they're tender and kind of white, but no brown
Right, I
showing.
added garlic in there and butter.
Mm-hmm.
And then I just pour it in here, and you mash your
I'm gonna
potatoes.
enjoy it.
Betty, Bonnie did not really do enough of potatoes
Well, we have more, too, if you need more.
for mashed.
Yeah,
You
did
can
you?
use some of this, if you want with the
No.
No,
No.
that's cheese and onions.
Mm-hmm. Well, I had too much mushroom and not enough
No, I was
potatoes.
trying to show Bonnie that the number of mushrooms that she had in proportion to what she really could have used in potatoes.
Well,
You know,
how,
and you almost have to know the crowd, you know.
well, how many
There.
potatoes do you plan on per person when you?
I don't.
Okay.
And I'll make mashed potatoes. Well, no, I'm not making mashed potatoes for you. I'm just making the soup.
You can make some mashed potatoes.
Oh, you want me to? Okay.
Would you?
Yeah,
Thanks.
all right, I'll cut up probably about 15
I'm
pounds.
Okay.
gonna tell you
15
what your
pounds.
mama says when I told her that Bridget's gonna make the turkey. She says, "What is Joey gonna do?" I said, "There's always work to be done around the house."
Just getting the house ready is a chore. When you're working,
That's sort of-
it is a chore.
And
Okay.
usually I have a couple of days and I gotta work till the 23rd.
Yeah.
He did it before,
Okay, now, this is it.
Okay.
And then you take your potatoes, you put these, put this on a Margie, since you're the,
I'll get the bowls. Well, I got other bowls. I got some bowls.
well, we'll just use this.
You're gonna use that as a sample.
Is the water boiling in the cashew?
It's starting to, I can hear it. It's back there. Bone. And I took the later.
Look at the back of my thing.
Oh.
Sorry, Bobby. Sorry.
Front warm.
So she's still steaming away.
Yeah, well, I had it always done.
And in her rock.
I hate this rug. I told Bonnie, the first thing that would go if I had to move in here would be this rug and probably every other rug in the place.
Well, you're not used to
Well, I can't.
Yeah.
Yeah, it throws me totally off balance.
Mm-hmm. And she's gonna. Okay.
I'm
Now,
ready
you let us
too.
know. Look at this. She's sitting with her plate.
She's ready. Got her plate out. Okay.
I'm ready. I am.
Margie's ready to dig in. Let's watch.
We did not eat.
Okay. And what's your verdict?
Oh, that's wonderful.
Isn't that good?
Wonderful.
Ah.
I'm going to
Okay.
do this.
I'm going to shut down.